Now the question number 31, a 6 volt cell with 0.5 ohms internal resistance, a 10 volt cell with 1 ohm internal resistance and a 12 ohms external resistance are connected in parallel. The current through 10 volt cell is how much? So first of all, regarding this question we have to draw the diagram. So first of all, let us consider this is the point A. From here there will be one cell, that is E1 is equal to 6 volts and internal resistance R1 equal to 0.5 ohms, and afterwards another cell, that is E2 is equal to 10 volts and R2 is equal to 1 ohm, and this is the point B. Then afterwards external resistance, that is R is equal to 12 ohms is connected in parallel. So let us consider this is positive, this is negative, positive, negative. From here the current I1, from here the current I2. So here current I1 plus I2 and here current I1 plus I2, and here the current, whatever the current which is coming from the cell, same current it will enter, I1 and here I2. Now from this one I will take one loop. What is the loop here? A and resistance R and B and here E2, then A. This is one loop, A, R, B, E2, A. So in this one, first of all I1 plus I2, this is the current, and with 12 plus, and it is moving through this one I2, that is I2 is the current, that I2 into 1 internal resistance is 1, here is equal to 10 volts. This is the equation number 1. Next, another loop, A, R, B, E1 into A, R, B, E1, A. So this is another loop. In this loop I will take this one as I1 plus I2 into 12 plus 0.5 I1 is equal to 6. On simplification, 12 I1 plus 0.5 I1, that is 12.5 I1 plus 12 I2 is equal to 6. This is second equation. So from the first equation, 12 I1 plus 12 I2 plus I1, that I2, that is 13 I2 is equal to 10. This is the equation 1, can be written in another way also. Now here equation 1 is multiplied with the 12 and equation 2 is multiplied with the 13. So equation 1 multiplied with 12 means 144 I1 plus 12 into 13, 156 I2 is equal to 120. Then equation 2 multiplied with 13, 13 into 12.5, 162.5 I1 plus 156 I2 is equal to, that is 78. So on subtraction of this one, these two gets cancelled. 18.5 I1 is equal to minus 42. I1 is equal to minus 42 divided by 18.5. There I1 is equal to minus 2.27 amperes. So here we are getting the negative value. That means whatever we took the battery position, this battery position we had to change. So that's why we are getting minus 2.27. So that means plus this side minus this side. So our assumption is not considered in this one. But what happens here, we are getting I1 value, this is our current is okay, but the direction we have to reverse. Then afterwards to get the I2 value, I1 substitute in the equation 1, That means 12I1 plus 13I2 is equal to 10. 12 into I1, that is minus 2.27 plus 13I2 is equal to 10. So on calculation of this one, we are getting I2 is equal to 2.86 amperes. So the current which must be flows through the E2 is equal to 10 volts is 2.86, but here this is the current which flows through E1 is equal to 6 volts. So which answer you will get here? E2 equal to 10 volts. So that means current passes through 10 volts battery is how much here? 2.86 amperes. So that is nearly what is that here? The answer is C, correct. Now the question number 32. In a meter bridge, a 30 ohm resistance is connected in the left gap and pair of resistances P and Q in the right gap measured from the left. The balance point is 37.5 centimeters when P and Q are in series. 71.4 centimeters they are in parallel. The values of P and Q are how much? So here this is meter bridge. So in meter bridge, 30 ohms resistance is connected in the left gap, and here P and Q are connected in right gap, that is are in series. So P plus Q is equal to length divided by 100 minus L. So one thing remember here, P, Q are in series. So here 30 divided by P plus Q is equal to L, means what is that here? 37.5 centimeters divided by 100 minus 37.5. So 30 divided by P plus Q is equal to 37.5 divided by 62.5. So here 30 divided by P plus Q is equal to 37.5 divided by 62.5. This value is nothing but 0.6. Now here P plus Q is equal to 30 divided by 0.6. Here P plus Q is equal to 50 ohms. This is the equation number 1. Now what happens here? P and Q in parallel. That means 30 divided by, that is PQ divided by P plus Q is equal to 71.4 divided by 100 minus 71.4. So that means 30 times P plus Q. P and Q are connected in parallel, means 1 by P plus 1 by Q. On effective resistance here we are writing like this, divided by PQ is equal to 71.4 divided by 28.6. Now here 30 into P plus Q, how much here? 50 divided by PQ is equal to 71.4 divided by 28.6 is nothing but 2.5, nearly 2.5. But here PQ is equal to 1500, multiplication 30 into 50, 1500 divided by 2.5, that is PQ is equal to, simplification we are getting 60 ohms. This is second one. So here if you want to calculate P minus Q, square root over P plus Q whole square minus 4PQ, square root over P plus Q 50 whole square minus 4 into 60, square root over 2500 minus 2400. So here P minus Q is equal to root 100 is 10. This is the equation number 3. On solving 1 and 2, that is 1 and 3, P plus Q is equal to 50. This is the equation number 1. Here both are cancelled. 2P is equal to 60. So from here P is equal to 30 ohms. To get Q value, Q is equal to P minus 10. So here P30 minus 10 is equal to 20 ohms. So which option is correct here? 30 and 20. So option C is correct. Now the question number 33. Identify the correct statements. A. Peltier coefficient is numerically equal to PD across the junctions of the thermocouple through which current is flowing. That means very small amounts of current which must be measured. That is, Peltier coefficient is numerically equal to PD across the junctions of the thermocouple through the which current is flowing. So option A is correct. But according to B, according to Thomson, energy is neither absorbed nor evolved at the junction of thermocouple but absorbed or evolved only along the lengths of the both conductors. So here this option is wrong. So according to Thomson, energy is neither absorbed nor evolved at the junction of thermocouple is wrong. So that means here A is true, B is false. Now the question number 34. An inductance 1 Henry is connected in series with an AC source of 220 volts and 50 hertz. The inductive resistance in ohm is how much? So first of all, if you want to calculate inductive resistance, that is XL is equal to omega into L. But what are given here? Inductance, that is L is equal to 1 Henry and frequency, that frequency is nothing but 50 hertz and voltage is nothing but 220 volts. Now XL is equal to omega into L. Omega is nothing but 2 pi frequency into L. So 2 into pi value into this frequency 50 into 1 on multiplication, that is 100 pi. So which option is correct here? Option C is correct. Here the question number 35. Two parallel rails of railway track insulated from each other and with the ground are connected to a millivoltmeter. The distance between the rails is 1 meter. A train is traveling with a velocity of 72 km per hour along the track. The reading of millivoltmeter is how much? Vertical component of Earth's magnetic induction is given 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Tesla. So first of all, to calculate this one, first of all speed V is equal to given 72 km per hour, that is nothing but 7 into meters per second means 20 meters per second, and also magnetic field, that is given 2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. And here which one we want to calculate? Reading of millivoltmeter. So here reading of millivoltmeter. Here two railway tracks which are separated with a distance 1 meter and train is traveling with a velocity on it and both are insulated from each other. So that means E is equal to BLV. So B is nothing but how much here? 2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 and length is 1 meter into speed 20 meters per second. On multiplication 2 into 20, 40 into 10 to the power of minus 5 volts, or otherwise 40 into 10 to the power of minus 2 millivolts, or otherwise 0.4 millivolts. So which option is correct here? Option C is correct. Now the question number 36. Magnetic field of induction at the center of the circular coil of radius 5 cm and carrying current 0.9 amperes is how much? Epsilon naught is the absolute permeability of air in SI units and velocity of light c equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. So first of all, radius is equal to given 5 centimeters and current I is equal to 0.9 amperes. Here convert into meters means 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Then afterwards velocity of light 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. But here one thing remember, magnetic field at the center of the circular coil is equal to mu naught I divided by 2r. But in terms of C value we want to calculate. But here we know the formula, C square is equal to 1 divided by mu naught into epsilon naught. But here mu naught is equal to 1 by C square into epsilon naught. Substitute this value in this one. Then what in this equation? So here what I will take here, B at the center is equal to, in terms of mu I will write this one, 1 by C square into epsilon naught into I divided by 2r. So 1 divided by C means what is that, 3 into 10 to the power of 8 whole square into epsilon naught. Here I, current is nothing but 0.9 divided by 2 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. So here 0.9 divided by 9 into 10 to the power of 16 into epsilon naught into 2 into 5, 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Here what happened, 0.9, 9 by 10 is nothing but 10 into 10, 10 square, 10 square into 10 to the power of minus 2 becomes, that is 1. So the remaining what is that here, 9 divided by 9 into 10 to the power of 16 into epsilon naught. Both gets cancelled, 1 by epsilon naught into 10 to the power of 16. So which option is correct here? Option 1 divided by epsilon naught into 10 to the power of 16. So option A is correct. Now the question number 37. According to Moseley's law, the frequency of the K alpha line and the atomic number Z of the element have been relation. How the relation must be? A and B are constants. But according to Moseley's law, but actually what Moseley's law states that the frequency of any particle emitted by an element and its atomic number of the element is related by Moseley's equation. That Moseley's equation is root frequency, that is nu is equal to A times Z minus B. A and B are constant, but A is equal to root 3 by 4 RC and B is equal to 1. But here what happens here, in place of A they took capital B and in place of B they took capital A. So which option is correct from this one? That option B is correct. That means root gamma, that is root nu, is equal to, that is frequency is equal to B times Z minus A. So which option is correct here? Option B is correct. Now the question number 38. A particle of mass 1 into 10 to the power of minus 26 kgs and charge 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs traveling with a velocity 1.28 into 10 to the power of 6 meters per second along the positive axis enters a region in which a uniform electric field and a uniform magnetic field of induction B are present. If E is equal to minus 102.4 into 10 to the power of 3 K cap Newton C to the power Coulomb to the power of minus 1 and B is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2 J cap Weber meter to the power of minus 2. The direction of motion of particles is how much? So first of all, what are the given here? Mass M is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of minus 26 kg and the charge which is given 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs and speed is equal to given 1.28 into 10 to the power of 6 meters per second and electric field is given E is equal to minus 102.4 into 10 to the power of 3 K cap and afterwards magnetic field is given, that is 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2 J cap Weber by meter square. But here first of all we want to calculate direction, no, electric field and magnetic field, these are. So electric field and magnetic field, so we will take these two magnitudes is equal to 102.4 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2. On calculation of that we are getting 1.28 into 10 to the power of 6. So that means V is equal to E divided by B. So that means is equal to 1.28 into 10 to the power of 6 meters per second. So whatever the speed is there, same we are getting here. So that means particle does not deflected, that means it remains same. So that means it is moving along positive x-axis. It's moving along the positive x-axis. This one we have to remember, this one. Now the question number 39. Particles and their antiparticles have A. the same masses but opposite spins. It should not be possible. And the same masses but opposite magnetic moments. Here it is also maybe possibility. Then we will check C. The same masses and same magnetic moments. It should not be possible. Opposite spins and some magnetic moments. It is also not possible. So which one is possible here? Same masses but opposite magnetic moments only possible for particles and their antiparticles. Option B is correct. Now we are going with 40. An NPN transistor power amplifier in common emitter configuration gives A. voltage amplification only, but here common emitter configuration not only voltage, so that means it is wrong. And B. current amplification, it is also not possible. Both current and voltage amplifications may be possibility. Only power gain of unity, so it is not possible. So which option is correct here? Option C is correct.